Ladies and gentlemen, howdy and aloha. Welcome back to another episode of Airey Bros Radio. We are here and you are there and you are now rocking with the best. Today we're lacing up the spikes and stepping back on the oval for a special bell lap check-in with one of our fastest, fiercest, and most inspiring young distance runners out there. You all know why we do this. It's for athletes, families, and coaches still searching for the right fit. You don't have to go D1 to go big. And if you're an international student athlete trying to make your mark in the U.S., today's conversation is packed with insight on navigating that journey from school selection to major championships and everything in between. But before we get rolling, you know the drill. Hammer that like button. Drop a comment. Every view, review, and share helps grow and give back to the sports we love. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And as always, this episode is fueled by Black Sheep Endurance Coaching. Back for round two. Luca Madeo is joining us again today. Since we last met in April, I believe it was, Luca has been on a bit of a tear. He is the German under-23 men's half marathon champion. He ran a 64:55. He finished second at the German under-23 10,000 meter championships in a new PB of 28:59. He won the 2025 NAIA 10K Outdoor National Championships. He was 17th at the under-23 European Championships 10K in Norway, and he is a six-time NAIA All-American. And as well, he is now on the move, transferring to distance powerhouse Adams State University in Alamosa, Colorado. Luca's story is one of courage, commitment, and climbing the next mountain. Let's spike up and get into it with Luca joining us live from Germany. Without further ado, Luca, it is an honor and a pleasure to have you back with us again. We do greatly appreciate your time. How are things going in Germany right now?
Thank you so much first for the time, and I appreciate it a lot that I can be here. Yes, things going good. I arrived after Europeans like 1 week ago, and now it's like more the time the last week to recover. And now we're gonna start slowly to build up again for the next time for the next competitions in cross country in the United States, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, we want to get into it. I think we'll probably backtrack starting with the European Championships and then move backwards from there. But when are you coming back stateside?
Again?
When are you going to be back in the United States? When are you going to Alamosa?
I am traveling exactly in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
To Colorado, yes, and I'm pretty
Awesome.
excited for it.
Yeah, we're excited to get into that. Jimmy and I have lived in Colorado for not now, but we lived there for a while, and we long to get back into the mountains. So we're very excited when we saw. Obviously, we were a little disappointed to see you leave the Cumberlands, but if we were going to see you go anywhere, we were happy to see you go somewhere in Colorado because they do great things in Alamosa. And some of our previous guests have been athletes there as well, and some coaches too. So we're excited to hear that. Anything you got going on anywhere you want people to find you on social media? We'll give you that time right now. Put out your socials so the folks can follow along on your journey as you head back over here and follow you this fall in the cross country season.
Yes. So now I'm back on social media since that spring. My name is on Instagram, and if you want to add me on Snapchat, you can do it. My name is Luca LUCA.MADEOO with 2 O's. Yes. So that's my two main media accounts, and I would like when you guys follow, and yes, there you see the most insights of my life.
Awesome. We'll put all that stuff in the show notes for you as well. We'll get you that little Airey Bros bump.
So, Luca, I know Rich said we wanted to cover Europeans, but I want to cover winning a national title at the NAIA National Championship. How did that go? How did that whole meet go in general? And what was it like to get back on top of the podium?
Yes, it was a crazy spring, like in general. I had the feeling that I've been more in airplanes than somewhere else, because after we talked, it was like kind of a secret, so I didn't point it out in our first podcast, but I flew back to Germany for the under 23 10K championship, because there I had to become top 3 to qualify for Europeans, and obviously I made it. But before, it was like more like for like a training long run. I competed at the German half marathon championship, and I still don't know how, but I won like in general. I had also luck that Berlin Marathon was like 1 week or 2 weeks ago. So nobody of the real pros from Germany ran there. So I won suddenly the under 23 and the man. And that was a huge like step for me and a kick in my first half marathon. But that was not so much the point, because my goal was to race at Europeans. So 2 weeks later, I traveled to Hamburg, got second there with a new PR of 28:59, finally sub 29, because I was a little bit kind of angry because I didn't broke it in Raleigh, but now I did it. Then I was like 4 weeks in Germany. Then I traveled back to the United States. Three days later, I competed in Cleveland, Tennessee, to get like the 5K national standard for 5K outdoor. I just ran there like 14:20 just to get the standard. And then 1 week later, I competed at the 10K national championship in Indiana, and it was pretty cool. Yeah.
So, was there any books involved in the spring semester?
Any what?
Any
Studying.
schoolwork involved in the spring semester?
Yeah. So we talked also to the professor, because it was like not like an emergency situation, but a special situation for me. And I did everything before or online, so it was no problem. And the most courses I had also online, so it was no problem. I really appreciate Coach Soder that he let me go, but I promised him that I'm gonna come back, and I promised him also that I'm gonna win the 10K for him for sure, that we have like the 10 points. And yes, so, and then I won the 10K by NAIA Nationals, and it was completely different than expected, because last year it was super hot. And that year it was, I mean, last year for sure it was like 80 to 90 Fahrenheit there, also in the night. And that year maybe 40 to 50, and so windy and rainy. Yeah, but it was overall, it was a great race. Yeah.
Were you tired when you got to nationals for the 10K after your travels and the half marathon and all that stuff?
So the half marathon, it was just like for like more a tempo session, but then I saw that I can win the under 23 for sure after 7 miles. And then after 10 miles, I was feeling, okay, I can win individual everything. So 2 gold medals. And then I went max out. Yeah. Then the 10K, 28:59 was also not perfect conditions, was also pretty windy, but really good, like 50 Fahrenheit in general, perfect. I had like a good group, and then I was completely happy. And then I came back, then I raced the 5K because I had to get the standard, because I promised Coach Soder, so I did it. And then by the 10K nationals, no, I felt really good. It was, maybe you guys watched it, but I take the front, I think, after 1 mile, because I was in the back, and then it felt too smooth, because I didn't want to sprint in the end hard. So I just took it, and I think I won with 30:12, but then I just jogged the last lap. Behind me was like another guy. He tried to stick with me, but then I felt pretty strong, and everything went well. But 2 days later, the 5K was really bad.
Yeah.
Maybe it was too much races, but it was also tactical, really bad from me. I mean, I still can learn a lot, because I run only since almost 5 years now. Yeah, and I think I had also stomach problems in the 5K final, because I think I ate something wrong, or I ate too much of one thing. So it was like a learning process. I wanted the second All-American medal so bad, then I got 9th. Yes, it was good, because maybe it humbled me also a little bit. And I learned a lot, like to race also tactical smarter, because after 10K you cannot run everything from the front. like me from the 10K. And I mean, I learned from it. I mean, my goal was, and I promised Coach Soda to win the 10K. I made it. But in the end, I think our team from Outdoor Nationals was pretty disappointed because we scored only 38 points, I guess, and got only sixth. And we scored in distance event only me. And when you see our roster before, you think we score like so much more points. And then it was just me. And I was also pretty disappointed with myself after the 5K. I was absolutely not happy. And maybe I thought it was too easy. But in general, my goal was to win the 10K. And I mean, 2 times national champion is really good. I'm really happy. And yeah, now next year, I'm going to get it better, but 1-2 divisions more up.
Heck yeah. Now, was that 64.55? Was that your first ever half marathon race?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was, and we did nothing. We did nothing for it. Like, of course I have like the threshold and like everything, but we did nothing specific. Yeah. I also don't know how the course was also, it was also kind of windy. It was also not completely flat, but in general it was good. But I think I can run 30 seconds or 1 minute faster for sure because our negative split was insane. The first 10K was like 30-30, and the last 10K was like 30-20, and the last K was like 2:48 or something.
Wow.
So
is there a
I
marathon
think,
in your future?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
let's get through college first. But
yeah, first college, and yeah, but in the future, yes. But first, 5K and 10K.
Sure,
but
no
yeah,
doubt.
marathon maybe in 5 years or longer. But half marathon is like a good indicator also how high your threshold is. It's like also scientific based, so it was also good to see it. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good debut for sure. So, go ahead, Jim.
So, when did Adams State come into play? When did you know that was in your back pocket and that you were going to Alamosa?
So, after my 10K, I decided, because I ran the 4th fastest time in NAIA history, and I decided for myself that I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try NCAA. And my first wish was to go to altitude because I think I can benefit a lot from it. I mean, Adams State is at 7,550 feet. It's like 2,300 meters. It's like the same elevation as Kenya, even higher than Colorado Springs or Boulder or St. Moritz in Switzerland, or even South Africa, where like all the other pro training. So I really want to go to altitude. So yes, even when we talked in our first podcast, Coach Soda, and like everyone knows already that I'm going to transfer, but I didn't want to point it out because first I want to concentrate it on nationals. I did it also, but I talked also to a lot of schools, and then in the end to a lot of really, really good schools. So we're talking also about schools who wanted me, who won like in the last 5 years D1 cross. So like NAU, Oklahoma State, but by NAU they didn't offer enough. But Oklahoma State was really interested. University of Texas, like SAC, was really interested. Then other really good schools, Portland, also Wingate. Yeah, and like a lot more. So I had like a lot of offers. And then in the end, I decided maybe D1 is too high for me now. But I think D2 for me is perfectly, because they have like also really, really strong team to train. I mean, Adams State, they have like Romain Le Jodre, he ran like 13:02 indoor. So it was just crazy. And there was like a lot of people who were faster than me, not a lot, but 2, 3, 4 guys. And I can really train good with them. And I want to combine altitude with my aerobic fitness. And I really hope that it will get me to my goal to sign pro in 2 to 3 years. So that's the reason why I signed with Adams State, and I signed in 1 week after I came back from the USA.
Were you in the transfer portal, or were they just reaching
No,
out?
I was not in the transfer portal. NA athletes don't have a transfer portal. You can do it, but with my agency and with my manager together, and also a lot of contacted me, also EQU. They all contact me also all about Instagram. So yeah, I had like 2 months to figure it out. In the end, I could take also more time, but I signed everything in beginning of June, yes. But I talked with them like over social media. They contacted my manager, my agency, something. Yeah, yeah. Coach sort of also helped me. Yes, I really appreciate it. He also helped me. He got also in contact with like really good schools. Yeah, he talked also to Adam State. So yeah.
Now, you mentioned that the altitude was an important factor to you, but with the squad that they have at Wingate with the international students, were they down to the wire? Were they one of the finalists because of the international students that they have? Was that a factor for you at all?
At Adam State? Yes.
I mean, was Wingate
Yep.
was Wingate in that conversation because of their
Yeah,
their
Wingate was
squad?
also in the conversation, but I first it's gonna really adventure for me because I never been in altitude before. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I mean maybe I climbed a mountain like one day, but I never trained in altitude, so it's gonna be an adventure. But I think I can really benefit from it. And that's the reason why I choose it, like for example, over hot weather in Florida or
Sure.
California or Texas.
Right.
I had also pretty good offers there. I know it's gonna be really cold there, but they have also in the facility and more. So yes, so I really want to try altitude, and I think it can get me a lot of benefit, especially when I travel to sea level to compete there in the important races in California or somewhere else.
No doubt. I think that's important to highlight because I think sometimes when student athletes are looking at schools, maybe they're thinking of a lot of different things, whether it's finances or locations and stuff. But I think from a distance running perspective, it is important to keep that location in the whole equation of when you're selecting your schools, because having that benefit of training at 7,500 feet is can be pretty
I mean,
beneficial.
it's much more than also than NAU, or I think there's only one facility higher. I think it's Western Colorado University.
Yeah.
That's
Western.
it. And it's also there. I mean, it's on a plateau. It's completely flat there. So it's altitude, but it's completely flat. And so much gravel and everything. I think I can really, my knees and my legs and my whole body can really benefit from it to run so much on gravel.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
it's completely flat. So yeah.
Yeah, you're in the San Luis Valley there, which is the highest alpine
Yeah.
desert in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been in Colorado, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah.
You
You're
gotta
gonna love
go. You gotta go check out the sand dunes. You might see a spaceship or two.
Yes, for sure. I saw, I mean, also on social media, I saw a lot of it, and my future teammates, they also talked about it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Does
Like
Roman
also in
have
general, there's
eligibility?
also different animals and everything. So yeah.
Does Roman still have eligibility?
Um, he signed pro with Nike,
Oh, he signed pro. Is he
but
still
he's
training
coming
there?
back.
Okay.
But he's coming back and practicing with us, so I can practice with a guy who missed the world qualification directly standard by 1 second over the 5K.
Yeah.
And run like 6th fastest time ever in NCAA in general. So I think I can really benefit from it to train with a Nike pro athlete.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. And I talked with him also a little bit, and I heard only positive things about also the coaches and about Adam State. So I'm really excited.
And they've got great uniforms.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
sweet. They're sweet looking.
Luca, is there anything you're besides Coach Chowder? Is there anything you're gonna miss about the Cumberlands?
Yes, of course. I pointed out I just went away because I want that nationals stay something special for me. I want also that conference is something special for me, because the conference from Cumberlands is like it's like just for practice, and also nationals. I think, and I want that I have to work really hard even to get like an All-American medal, and that I don't have in by NAIA anymore. And yes, I will miss Coach Soder. I will miss also my track there. Also Coach James Oberholzer, the assistant coach. Also the whole team. A lot of people transferred out there, but I miss like also my German teammates there. Like everyone in general, the whole area. I mean, I lived there for almost 2 years, Appalachia. So I'm gonna miss it, but I promise them I'm gonna visit them in the next 1 or 2 years, maybe in spring break or in fall break or in winter. Yeah. Yeah, in general. So it was pretty emotional when I left. But I'm gonna visit them, and yes. And I'm really thankful for the time I had there, the most amazing years in my life, the last 2 years for me personally. So I'm really grateful for it. I pointed also out on social media. So yeah, I'm really, really happy.
Excellent. Well, we're happy for you. Let's get into under 23 European Championships. How was that experience for you? You got to go to Norway. You got your German warm up on. You got a whole slew of Nike things. We saw you posted all the gear. Tell us all about it. How was it? You know, I think it's every athlete's dream to get that box of Nike gear or Adidas gear with their country's uniforms and stuff. It's got to be a very prideful experience to be able to represent your country in a global championship. So, how was your experience in Norway?
Yes. So first, I knew like by the beginning of May that I'm gonna select it, because top three with the time I'm gonna select it, my Germany. The official selection was made 2 weeks before the first week in July, 2 weeks before European Championships, because the other like 100 and 200 and 5K they had to qualify by the other German championship. But I knew it. Then after the championship, I got like the official like selection mails, and it was pretty overwhelming. It was super cool. And then I got my big suitcase with like I think 40 pieces. So I have like now 7 warm-up jackets, that one, so many shirts, shorts, shoes, caps. It was so crazy. I posted it also on social media, and then when I opened the bag and then I saw the national jersey, and yeah, it was really emotional for me because it was my childhood dream. Earlier to compete for Germany, I mean, I want like every little boy in Europe wanted to be like a soccer player. I mean, I mentioned about last podcast, I played like 5 years soccer, but then I changed in 2020, 21. And then I had like the chance to compete for Germany, and then I saw the jersey, and like everything, every mile was worth, and I got really emotional. And then I got like also my ticket to fly with the German national team. Then 1 week later, on like exactly 2 weeks ago, I flew to Norway with the whole German national team, and with the then I saw the stadium, like the other teams. We was in a big team hotel. There was like 5 big team hotels. We was like with other big nations, Germany, Portugal, Spain, and then like other little nations, and it was so cool. Germany had like also the biggest team, where it's 96 athletes, from men and women, and so many doctors, and like for massage and like others. So, and social media team was so cool. Yeah, it was a little bit overwhelming. Yeah, and then I ran on a Thursday at 11 a.m. EST or 5 p.m. European time, my first competition for the German Eagle. Yes. And yeah, it was pretty overwhelming, everything, because I never been at so professional meet. It's crazy. The call room was in a mountain. It was absolutely insane. So many volunteers, you had to think about so many things about your accreditation card. Everything was so crazy. And I didn't even expect that the stadium was packed, but like was like 50% sold out. And you didn't could see it on the videos because there where the camera was, but beside the hall was completely full. And it was so crazy. But the conditions was not the best.
Now you got that, you got all that gear. You said you got like 40 pieces or stuff. One of the things Jimmy and I used to do, we used to go to the wrestling national championships with our gear from Team New Jersey, is you look to trade different pieces of gear with people from other teams or other countries. Did you make any trades? Did you trade some
Yes,
German Eagles for some other
yes.
countries?
Yeah, but it's not look. So first, it's not allowed.
Oh, okay.
It's not allowed because you have like the gear for 4 years,
Okay.
until the new Olympic cycle. So when
Okay.
there's the Olympics in LA 2028, then there is new stuff. So I have to keep it, and if I ran for Germany in the next 3 years, I have to wear it the same. But of course, I changed one thing with Luca Santoro
Oh, right
because
on.
he, yeah, and because I'm like also kind of, I mean, my dad is like the dad from my dad is from Italy. So I changed like with like a Italian long sleeve from Lucas and Turum, yes. But
Nice.
there was a lot of people, they took the old gear from like the last years and then they traded so much. But I just want like to have a piece from Italy and I got one. So yeah, it's
Very
pretty cool.
cool.
But the other things I'm also not allowed to wear like in practice only in 2028. So they're washed in my suitcase. And if I compete, then yeah, then I can wear it. But
Okay.
otherwise not. But it's crazy. It's so much. Yeah, it was so overwhelming.
So you mentioned it being so overwhelming, the scale of the stadium, the warm up in the mountain. Were you able to perform? Did you get kind of lost in the atmosphere, or were you able, minute that gun went off, it was business as
Mm.
usual?
So first, I really, I didn't run any competition in Germany between my last race for Cumberlands and the Europeans. I mean, I did 100 mile weeks, like 4 weeks in a row in June. I prepared really exactly for it. Um, I did also heat training because you never know. The problem is that Norway have like one hot week in a year. Normally, there on the coast, it's like, I mean, it's directly on the west coast from Norway. So normally it's in summer there 50 to 60 Fahrenheit, not more. But of course, in that week, it was 80 to 9 to 90. And I mean, I practiced a lot in the heat, but I knew it before. I'm not a heat runner. I did a lot of heat practice. We also simulated, but that was also the reason why I could perform so good at rally relays in Hamburg by half marathon and even by 10K national championship by the NA because it was cold. Not cold, but 50,
Comfortable.
60, 40 Fahrenheit. And this was the problem. It was just too hot. It was at 7 p.m. I was after 3K already completely overheated. I just to cool down, but yeah, you can see it like also in pictures. I was so red after the race, and it was the most hottest race in my life, and like other people didn't have the problem. And I was a little bit annoyed by it after because so many people beat me. They're like 30 or 35 seconds slower than me from the PR. Like people more from the southern European countries. But I overtook also people, they're like much faster than me, like from the more northern countries like England or Ireland. But in the end, I mean, in the end, the first three or first five, I mean, they're like pro athletes or like almost pro. Of course, they won. That's the difference between a college athlete who practiced since 5 years and like pro runner. They have pro contract with Nike or like Adidas or Puma. Um, yeah. So I was kind of annoyed because my goal was top 15, then I got 17th, but only with 30.06, and it felt like max out. But I mean, I can just say it in Celsius, it was like 28 degrees in the shade there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that in the sun, it's like 35 to 40 because also the red track, it also reflected. So people said also in the sun, it was like 95 Fahrenheit-ish, and you cannot, and I cannot run fast there. So I was in pretty good shape. If it would be cool, I think I could make like in the best case maybe 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th. Now I got 17th. I'm still with my PR, I would win this, but of course, I mean, of course they can run them also faster, but I was expecting to get 12th or 11th. Now I got 17th out of 25. So yeah, I'm kind of annoyed, but it was also my first competition, and I can say that like my time is the 11th fastest time in Europe this year. I got 17th. It was not too bad, but I know that I just have to do more heat training, I guess. So this is the only thing, because I was top fit. I did also I was also in labor 2 weeks before the championship. I posted also on social media with like blood, with like lactate testing. I have now exactly my 3 millimole, or like my individual threshold, with VO2 max, with blood, with everything. So they checked me completely through, and I was fit like never before. But yeah, I knew it before. I'm not a heat runner, so I just tried the best out of it. And I mean, 17th in Europe is 17th of Europe with 550 million people in this continent. So yeah. I went away in Germany. In German we say I go away with a smiling and with a crying tear. It's like a quote.
Bittersweet.
So yes, yeah, bittersweet. Yeah. I mean, I was not expecting to go top 7. So, but I was expecting like 7, 5 places better. But in the end, I mean, I achieved my dream. I competed for Germany, and of course now I'm hungry for more.
Will you represent Germany for the half marathon world championships? Was that something that you're entertaining, or has that been an option presented?
No, I'm not fast enough. Not yet. I mean, we have guys that run 60, 61, 62. But I'm gonna work on it maybe in 3-4 years after college.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my future 10K up.
In terms of heat training, did you dabble in the sauna at all leading into that, or is that something you're going to look to do more in the future?
So now the next competition's not gonna be hot. So I saw my schedule. I mean, I did some easy runs. You can do really, I mean, normally the hard practice you should not do like with like more clothes on. I just did in summer a little bit like a long sleeve for the easy runs, and like it's also heat training effect. And I mean, I practice also a lot on the treadmill. It's so hot, and I'm glad that I did it, because afterwards maybe I get like only 20 for something. But I will gonna work more on it when I know I will race for Germany, but next year for sure not, because next year is I'm first year by senior. So, and next year also European Championship for senior, and I mean I'm like number 9, I think, over 10K in whole Germany for the seniors. So maybe in 3 years or in 2 years I'm gonna compete the next time for Germany. But I think we will go figure something out by Adam State for nationals. But we're gonna see. Right now, I'm pretty happy that I don't have to race in heat anymore, because I really don't like it.
And so now you have 2 years of eligibility. Do you have a redshirt year as well too available to you?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna figure it out how, but I have 6 seasons, 2 cross country, 2 indoor, 2 outdoor, and we're gonna see how I can redshirt, because I mean I can stay 3 years at Adam State, but for sure I'm gonna race this cross country season. So I'm not gonna redshirt that. So for sure I'm gonna race that, and then we're gonna see.
Okay. And now when you said you're taking kind of a down recovery rest period, regrouping and everything, when you get back into it, what like when you jump back into training, where do you sit mileage wise? I know you mentioned you did 4 weeks of 100-mile weeks. When you get back into it, what's your first week of mileage going to be, and how long before you get back in 100-mile weeks?
So first to answer the question, I took off like 4 days after like I raced on Thursday. So I took off, like I start last week Tuesday just with easy jogging. I hit last week, I think, just 40 miles, so like 70K. That week we increased a little bit. I start also to practicing now, because Coach Soder prepared me for Europeans. This was like his last goal. I did his schedule, and now my German national coach. And I started today with the schedule from Adam State. Now I think I will just run easy. I mean, last week, this week, and maybe one threshold session. We're gonna see, but not more than 60 miles for sure. Then I'm traveling to altitude, and then we have to see. so many people adapted like after 4 days in altitude. Some people need like 2 to 3 weeks. So, but I think I'm gonna be in 100-mile weeks if I don't get sick or something. I think at least last week, August, first week, September. So like 90 miles, 95, 100, something like that. So, but I think I need like 3 to 4 weeks more because I have absolutely no idea how my body will react on altitude. So we're gonna see. And slowly, because my first cross country race is 27th of September in Wisconsin. It's pre-national course. And there I have to perform. So today we have the 28th, so 2 months to go. And yeah, so maybe in 4 weeks I will be completely in double practice and like with 100-mile weeks. Maybe also only 90, maybe also only 70. I don't know how my body will how to adapt, but I think I'm positive if I do it slowly in the first 1 or 2 weeks. Then I think I
You'll
don't
be
get
fine.
big or yeah. I mean, it's
stay
pretty
fluid.
high. 7,500 feet is, I mean, it's like Kenya. So it's like not a little bit altitude like South Africa or Switzerland. So, but I'm positive.
Yeah. Jimmy and I lived at 10,000 feet, so we know what it's all about. We were in Leadville for a while.
Where?
Well,
Leadville, Colorado. It's probably about s- uh 3 hours northeast of Alamosa.
Okay, yeah, then it's more in the 10,000 is crazy. I
Yeah.
think there is no, I mean, the highest college I think is Western Colorado University.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
it's like 8,000 something.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think 2,300 is already really, really high.
Yeah, it's high.
So
for sure.
I mean, it's almost the highest people train.
Yeah, you don't really go much higher than that for effective training. Did you get to enjoy Norway at all while you were after the race and stuff? Did you get to do some
Yes,
sightseeing?
it's a really, really pretty country. I never been there before. I visited also 1 week, beginning of June, Denmark, and I never been in Scandinavia, and so pretty, so clean, and like the valleys. I mean, Norway is world famous for the valleys, like the valleys to the ocean. It's really, really pretty. And I was one time in downtown in Bergen because our hotel and the stadium was like a little bit like suburban outside, like 20, 25 minutes with the car. But I saw it one time and it was really pretty. And I think I'm going to be back in Scandinavia, but then maybe another country or maybe Norway we're going to see. But Sweden and Finland should be also amazing countries. And yeah, but I was really happy to see a new country I never been in, and it's pretty expensive there, really, really expensive. But it was worth for the 1 week.
Yeah. And you mentioned your little trade with your former teammate. Did you guys get to catch some miles together? Did you go for some runs while you were in
With Lucas Santoro?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. We trade on the last day and we took both off the 4 days and we didn't see each other before.
Okay.
Because his hotel was like away and yeah.
Did he run
But
the 8 or the 1,500?
he ran the 1,500.
Okay. How did he do?
He said he was not happy because he didn't make the final. But
Okay.
the level this year, it was so stacked together. Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
So what's your downtime look like now? You get to enjoy home?
Yes. Right now here it was really, really hot in Germany. 90 to 100 Fahrenheit in June, and now it's pretty cold. Not pretty cold, but maybe 70 Fahrenheit and rain all the time. But yes, I enjoy the time with my family because then I'm not gonna see them after like 2 weeks. So I spend a lot of time with them. Yeah, so I really enjoy it here.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have one sibling.
Older, younger?
She is younger than me.
Okay. You guys get along?
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty good sometimes,
part.
but right now, no, but it's fine. I mean, we are both not so like kind of adults, so it's fine.
She running yet?
No, she is playing soccer, but I try to convince her, but it's pretty difficult. I hope I can change her mind, but she's happy right now with soccer, and I think that little kids, especially when, I mean, she's 13 years old.
Okay.
I think like kids, they should do what they
Yeah.
feel to do.
Have
And
fun.
I can understand why women, or like in general, people with 13 years old, they don't want to run alone all the time. So yeah.
Understandable.
But she is registered in the same athletic club as me, so she can go back anytime she wants, but she have to practice a lot first.
Plenty of time to convince her.
Yes. I mean, like me, I started with almost 18, so
Yeah.
with so much time.
Luca, I appreciate your insight and your perspective. You are a student of the game. To hear you talk about races, talk about your training, I can tell you're a scientist when it comes to this stuff, and we appreciate this because we are nerds when it comes to our sports. So we appreciate that. And I just appreciate you reaching out, coming on, and
Yes.
when you're an All-American at Adams State, don't forget get the Airey Bros, and don't be surprised if we show up at your doorstep.
No, for sure. That's, I mean, pretty honestly, that's also the goal. My goal is to help the team as good as possible to win nationals. I know it's going to be really tough. We have two other really good teams, two or three. But my goal, of course, is to become, I don't know which place yet. But of course, if I want to help the team, I have to become All-American. Because if you want to win cross country, you need 5 All-Americans or even more. So yeah, and I'm pretty optimistic that I can do it, and that I can help the team at least on the podium for sure. And then we're gonna see what we can do, and we're gonna see. I'm pretty excited.
And just make sure you enjoy everything. I know it's
Yes.
easier said than done, but I know you had a whirlwind spring, but that is stuff that Rich and I live for as far as traveling, competing. So enjoy every bit of it. And if there's anything on the whirlwind since we last talked that we haven't spoke of, let's talk about it now if you have anything else you want to talk about.
No, just that I'm like in my heart, I'm still also from Cumberlands because I own them so much, and I told them all already I'm their biggest fan for cross country. And if there is a live stream, of course I'm gonna watch it. And I'm pretty sure if everything goes well that they have a pretty good chance to win that year cross country. And nobody would be more happier than me to see all these guys, also the newcomers and also Kurt Soda and James, to have the trophy, because then they achieved on the men's side everything. And yes, and I'm pretty excited. And of course for myself, for Adams State, yes. I have sometimes I want to achieve, depends also on the course. National course is going to be really hilly. And of course, Wisconsin is going to be cold, especially on the sea. So I watched already some videos. They predicted going to be snow and really hilly, but yes. So in my head, I'm still also with Cumberlands, and I'm always their biggest fan because I know how much I own this great university. But I'm also pretty excited for my next step, and I hope that I can achieve everything what I'm dreaming of.
Well, we're excited for you. We believe in you, and we're looking forward to following your
Thank you.
next journey over into Alamos. As I said, Jimmy and I are not in Colorado right now, but we spent quite a bit of time in Colorado. Definitely a part of our heart is still there. So we were very excited to see the Adams State logo popped up when you signed there, and Coach Martin does a great job. And you know, Coach Vigil, rest in peace, just passed away not too long ago last week. You know, they have such a rich tradition. I think you're destined to do great things there, my friend. So we are excited to follow your journey for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Luca, thank you so much for your time, sir. Can't wait to follow you at Adams State.
Of course. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it a lot. And we're going to stay in contact, and yes, stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Luca Madeo. Make sure you go follow him on Instagram. He's doing great things, and he's going to be representing the yellow and green out there at Adams State. He's going to be a Grizzly, so make sure you follow along this fall, see what they got going on. It is no small task to take on the RMAC conference. So we're excited to see what happens there, and then obviously he'll be battling with our friends over at Wingate. So Give him a follow on social media. We will be back on Wednesday evening. Joe Allaher will be joining us. We're going to be stepping back on the mat, and we're going to be talking a little bit of jiu-jitsu, some self-defense, and all the great things that they got going on in Monmouth County. So we'll see you back here on Wednesday night.